Welcome to Cologne, Germany. I am Josh Friedman, and I am speaking with an 18-year-old author. Her name is Mehrak Shirkhanloo. Hi, Mehrak. How are you doing?
I'm fine, and you?
I am doing okay. It is my understanding that you are still in school in Germany, or you call it gymnasium here? You're still in gymnasium, but you've published a book that is basically calling for the end of the German school system as we know it. So please explain this to me.
Yeah, okay. It starts with a teacher in my class who discusses free education and education without state, without school.
Hold on 1 second. And I come from the US, and in the States, when we hear free education, we think that means the government pays for education so that the other people or the students don't have to pay for it. It's like something what Bernie Sanders is talking about right now. But you're talking about something different, right?
Yeah, it's right. We in Germany have the position, or when we think about free education or private education, the people who wants to get educated or the parents of them will pay for the education, not the state. So we have a different point of view here.
In your book, in your theory.
Yeah. And the teacher in my class starts to discuss the topic in the class, and I start to think, okay, what is free education? I never heard it before. And I want to get information about it. I want to inform myself about it. So I start to search in the internet about it, about videos, for example, or people who talks about free education. And I found people like Andre Stern, who was never in school and speaks now 5 languages and builds guitars, and he educated himself with the years. And so that was the point in my life where I say, okay, why I doing these things in my life like I doing, and why I do not in another way in generally. And I start when I was in the school and sitting in the class, okay, why I have to do this now? I start to think about it. And I ask myself, okay, why one people who called himself teacher says to us what is right or what is wrong? Why we cannot self find out what is right or what is wrong? And that was the point that I first start my blog about education. And then I start to write about it. I was not sure that it will be a book. But then I want to share my thoughts about it and my point of view about it. So I sum up it to a book. And that was the story of my book now.
You were saying maybe we don't need teachers. Is that something that you're really suggesting, that human beings can learn, they can educate themselves all by themselves? They don't need anyone to teach them anything?
So I think not that we are not have teachers, but teachers like we have now in Germany. I say not that most of them are like that, but in Germany you think a teacher is someone, or the teachers selves think they are someone that, okay, I have the right because I work for the state. I have the right to influence the kids with the like books and something, and say, okay, that is right because it's wrote in this book. Like my German teacher make it very much in my class. He say, okay, what was right in this line and this line and this line, and I ask, okay, why we have to learn all things about one book? Okay, why we cannot use another things, or why we cannot use another thoughts? Why we always have to say, okay, this line and this line and this line and this book, they wrote this and this? And I say it will be better when we have people who motivate ourselves to get our potential out, because I think any of us have potential at the beginning of their life before they come to society, and the society tells them what they have to do and what not. So yeah, that's my point of view.
Do you believe in some sort of schooling system? Do you advocate for private schools, for homeschooling, or mentorships? Or, I mean, is there any sort of structure that you would suggest for education?
I think any of them can work if they have three conditions. If the state not come and say, okay, that system is good and we only use this. I think it can exist homeschoolers, it can exist unschoolers, it can exist mental coaching or private schools also. When they and I think when there exist private schools, these private schools are a bit, because they are free, dependent from the people who wants to educate it. And the people who wants to educate it can tells them what they prefers, what what they want to make with their potential. For example, someone who wants to write don't have 4 hours in a day maths or something like that. Know what I mean?
It sounds like you take issue with central planning. I'm curious to hear what your teachers and maybe school administrators think of your book, assuming they've heard of this.
Yeah, some of them heard of this, it's right. I think how was my experiences is that most of my teachers in my school are think in this way, like it's the system now. They think the system is right and the system is good and the system only works like it's today. But there are a bit, I think of 10 to 15% that think now in another way. They think, okay, maybe there are another point of views and maybe there are another system that works better. We don't know because we don't have to try it. So one teacher of philosophy, for example, has read the book and he say he find it great that young people think in another way and think about topics that are so important, because young people who goes in the school are 8 hours in a day. If you go in the gymnasium in German, influences with this topic, but most of them don't think about it, they just do it. Yeah, so that was the reaction of them.
What are some ways for young people and students to implement this idea, this philosophy of free education, whether or not they're in school?
In school, I think you will not have so many opportunities like it's in the school system now to change something, because you will get so many feedback that from the teachers that you are crazy because you think another way, or that's not good. That's not the thing like the rules works. But now, I think we are living in a century where we have internet, we can blogging, we can make videos, and we can share our opinions, and we can share our point of views. And inspire other people with them. So I think we have opportunities, but we have only to do this because the most of them think too much about it, what other people will think about it, and then they stop. That was my experience of young people in school. I don't know how students are because I'm not so connect with them. Yeah.
By the way, excuse my German, but what is the name of the book?
Yeah. In German?
Yes.
Die Nichtigkeit des deutschen Schulsystems.
And roughly in English, what does that mean?
The nihility of the school system of Germany.
What has been the reaction to the book from I'm hoping that it's gotten out there. What's been the reaction to the book from outside the education circle? What do everyday Germans think of it?
The reaction I get was mostly positive. because the people said to me that that it's great that young people starts to get innovative in order to educate themselves with this topic and have an opinion and get outside and say, okay, this is my opinion and this is my point of view, and I will stay here. It doesn't matter what other people will think about it. So yeah, I mostly get positive feedback of them, and yeah, that was the most reaction of them. They say that's great that young people now start to think another way.
Even in Germany, Germany seems like a very structured society, a very disciplined society. The part of this could come across as a little hippie liberal. But I guess you're right. You're telling me people are happy with it. Okay. So, taking this concept of free education, I'm curious how you might apply this thought process to other areas of life and governance, and basically, what do you think the role of the state should be in our lives?
I think that the state have to minimal rules, like they can manage, I don't know, criminals or something that is not, I don't want to say illegal, but something that creates consequences by another people that will be not good. But I think like something like education or something like job or something like there are something for me that it's, aren't jobs from the state. That the state has, okay, I have this minimal jobs like to manage the criminals or something like that. But I think we have all firstly to discuss what is criminal or what not. That comes before. But I think that the jobs of the states have to be very, very minimal, and that people have many opportunities to find their own way, their individual way, and their free way for educate themselves, for find a job. And for example, we are live now in a social state in Germany, and the people have to get, I don't know really the exactly percents, but get more of the half or the half of their money that they get from the job to the state. Because the state say, okay, I will make good things like schools or something like that. But I think, okay, when the people have their whole money from the job, they can create also schools or also institutes, but that comes not from a state that say, we have to do this. It comes from a free motivation. Yeah, it's my point of view.
You're opposed to taxation?
Taxation? You mean to eliminate that?
Sure. Do you want to eliminate taxes? Do you want to reduce taxes? What's your take on that?
I think we have to eliminate them. Yeah, because now it's really Germany. I don't know other country that works like that, but now in Germany. But if the people not agree with them, I think, okay, we have to bring them down a bit, or the percent of the tax. But in my point of view, we have to eliminate it, because we pay for something. If you, for example, if you have a television now, and I don't watch television because I don't like it, I have pay also, that's called CGZ, for the television and the TVs and series that I want to watch because other people watch them. I think that's not fair, and that's not free. Yeah, that's not freedom for me. So, in my point of view, we have to eliminate them.
What's in store for your future? Are you going to be an author? Are you going to be an innovator in the education sector? Are you going to be founding your own school, your own teaching program? What's in store for you?
I think when I'm now thinking about this, I have no exactly plan for the future. I love to writing and I love to think about new things. But when you will something her like exactly job, I cannot give you an answer, because I think about my future plans. I really think much about this, but I look in the society and always say that the people say, okay, we have to do this and this and this. In Germany, it's very so that the people are so focused on what they do next. They are never living now in this moment, and they're never enjoying this moment. They are always, okay, we are what we are doing in the future. And the same mentality exists like in the school. So I say, okay, I want to go I want not to influence myself with them so much. So I say, okay, I know my way. I like political things. I like philosophical things. I like to writing much, but I don't want to focus myself on one job. So I will show. Maybe I will study, but I'm not sure. So I will show what I will do in the future, but I exactly know what I want to do.
How can people find your blog, and where do people buy your book?
My book you can buy anywhere in internet. You have only write the headline, die Nichtigkeit des deutschen Schulsystems. Then I think it's in the Amazon of America too. Yeah, I saw it. And my blog calls Guides to a Better Life. .blogspot.de, and my website is okay, I don't know the English word, World Wide Web, www, yeah, be the change you want to see in the world.de. That's my site where you can find it.
You give us the description, or you give us the spelling, and we'll put it in the description on YouTube. I wish you nothing but success. I expect to see you founding some alternative university or school system. And I guess I'll have to come back to Cologne to see how you're doing sometime soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you too.